Grati-Tuesday, and we always look forward to a Grati-Tuesday because it means that we are joined by Reverend Sophie. Good morning. How are
Good
you?
morning. I'm very well, thank you. Yes, I'm very, very well. I'm grateful for the lovely weather we had a couple of weeks ago and praying that it's going to come back again sometime soon.
Fingers are crossed. I'm
Fingers
grateful though.
crossed.
I took the dog out for a walk last night after the
Oh,
sports show, and it wasn't black
sunset.
dark.
Yeah.
And the sunset last night was just glorious, wasn't it? Absolutely glorious.
It
So
makes
many
such a
things to be
difference.
grateful for. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a busy week for you, Sophie. I was doing a quiz the other day, and one of the questions was, "What is the week leading up to Easter Sunday called?" It was a topical round for Easter, and of course, it's Holy Week.
It's Holy Week. Yeah, it is Holy Week. It's a very important week. It's the busiest week really of the Christian calendar. Starting with Palm Sunday, which was this Sunday just past, and then we have Holy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Maundy Thursday, Good Friday, Easter Saturday, and of course Easter Sunday. And the whole week sweeps across the story of that lead up to Jesus's death and resurrection. So Palm Sunday is us remembering him riding triumphantly into Jerusalem on a donkey, of all animals, of all creatures, and the highs and lows of Holy Week. There's highs and lows, and I guess that's quite topical, isn't it? Really, because life is full of highs and lows, and sometimes we're dealing with an awful lot of lows in amongst trying to hold on to the joys as well. So yeah, it's a week that's full of emotions, but it's also full of excitement as well as upset, and people go from loving Jesus at one end of the week to crucifying him at the other end of the week, and how it reminds me of how fickle as human beings we can be, but at the same time we're wonderfully created, and all of our emotions, everything that comes as part of who we are, is just an amazing thing to behold. So, but yes, Holy Week is a busy week, and today we've got Chrism Mass in the cathedral. So every year we gather in the cathedral at this time, and we talk about the bishop will consecrate the holy oil. So we'll have oils that have been brought in from the Holy Lands. They're oils that are some of them are slightly scented, some of them are not. So there's 3 different oils. There's the oil of catechumen, which is the oil that we use on those people who are baptized or confirmed. And then there's the I don't remember all their official names now. There's catechumen, there's the chrism oil, which is the oil that is used for ordinations and those types of things. And then there's the other oil, is the oil that we use when people are sick, and we use them to anoint people. So when someone is dying, often a priest will go to their bedside and give them the last rites. You've probably heard that, and we'll anoint them with oil. And the reason for that, well, yesterday, one of the readings that I read yesterday was the reading of Mary anointing Jesus with oil. And she took this very, very expensive oil, and she anointed him, knowing that he, or somewhere in the back of her mind, perhaps knowing that he might die. And so she anointed him before he died. And it was tradition to anoint a body after they died, a person had died. But so that tradition follows through, really, and we do that as priests. We anoint a person's body and make sure that they're prepared, ready for the next stage of their journey. And so it's quite an important thing that we're doing today, because those oils are really significant parts of our ministry. And I suppose they're insignificant in one way, aren't they? Again, it's that wonderful thing about life is oil is fairly insignificant, isn't it? It's nothing. And yet when we make something special, or when we use it for a special reason, it becomes sacred. And I think there's something quite important about that. And so that's what we're doing this morning in the cathedral. And those of us who have been ordained are also renewing our ordination vows as well. So we do that every year at the same time. So it's an important day for all of us. I've been ordained since 2019 now. I've done it every year. But I know my colleague, Archdeacon Paul, for instance, he's been deacon nearly 25 years now. So, and the bishop, of course, himself has been doing it for the last 40 years. So, so it's it's an important thing to do.
There are lots of things, lots of symbolism, lots of things to remember and reflect. And as you say, starting off with that incredible high and then finishing with the crucifixion. Now, I'll be honest, the most of my education on this topic comes from being in a version of Jesus Christ Superstar, which isn't the most accurate of text to follow when it comes to Holy Week and how it begins and how it ends. But it does give you a good flavour and a good idea of it. But that symbol of the highs and the lows, the good and the bad that happens in all of us all of the time. It happened like we're living it right now. We might be really enjoying what we're talking about now, but at the same time, there might be someone ill at home, and there's lots of different things that we're having to balance all of the time. And it's a great symbol to remember those little things, those little habits, those little traditions, those little customs that we do as family and as friends, to keep us grounded and to keep us moving forward, Sophie.
Yeah, and it's that groundedness, isn't it? I mean, it's part of the rhythms of the year. We do beating of the bands later on in the year, don't we, with the mayor? And there's various rhythms we have as Pure West Radio. We have certain things that we look forward to throughout the year, and it's all part of the rhythm of who we are and what we seek to, or consider to be important. So I think, we all need those rhythms, don't we? And those routines and those rituals. And but this ritual that we're doing today, particularly, it is very symbolic and an important part of what we're doing. It's a celebration, but at the same time, it's recognizing that those symbols that we carry are very important parts of what we do as priests. So it's a good week.
And I was thinking throughout Holy Week, then maybe later on in the week, you're going to have family, friends, everybody sort of coming together. It is a real sort of a good time for families, isn't it, to come together and celebrate these times?
It is a really good time to come together. So Palm Sunday, is a really good day for celebrating, for particularly we've got little children, because it's a day where we can shout Hosanna to the highest, and it's a day that we can see donkeys. There's often a lot of donkeys on Palm Sunday. So that's good fun. Holy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday tends to be a little bit quieter. It doesn't have quite so much going on for small people, I would say, although some churches will be doing things like holiday clubs and that sort of thing to help children understand what's going on during Holy Week. And then on Thursday, of course, it's Maundy Thursday, is another important day. Maundy Thursday is the day that we remember the Last Supper. It's also the day where we remember the washing of the disciples' feet. So Jesus, for me, Jesus washing the feet of his disciples is the most important part of his servant nature. So he's always been that servant-hearted person. But for someone who was considered to be a rabbi, a teacher, to take off a person's sandals and to wash their feet was lowering himself to the lowest point in society, that lowest rung of society. And he was putting himself in that position in order to be able to serve other people. And it's a strange but wonderful thing to be able to do on Maundy Thursday, is to wash another person's feet. I remember the first year that I did it in parish, I had one gentleman who I won't name, but he was very, very reluctant he's a farmer. He was very reluctant to have his feet washed because he felt that he didn't want people seeing his feet, and he didn't want me seeing his feet. And I said to him, it's okay, because I encouraged him, and he did it, and he cried. And he cried because that kind of, it's the strangest thing, isn't it? Because feet often can be disgusting things. They are often the piece, the bit of our body that we pay the least attention to. and they take the load, don't they? They really do take the load of our lives. And so they're often not very nice things, but they are. There's something also quite, because I think because of that very nature, people don't want other people seeing their feet, and so there's something quite intimate about it as well. So there's kind of like there's a relationship there that it's a trust thing.
A trust,
yeah.
But it's also
values.
a relationship building thing. And so the disciples must have had deep trust in Jesus. I suppose it was quite normal for them to have that done for them, because they would have had servants that would do that for them. It would have been quite normal for them to have their feet washed, but it probably wouldn't have been quite normal for them to have their teacher
do it for them. So that's taking place on Thursday, is one of the events on Maundy Thursday, getting ready for Easter. It's coming up to 8:45, Reverend Sophie. We'll have to tune in again on Easter Sunday to find out more about Holy Week and about Good Friday and about Easter Sunday and the celebration that Easter Sunday is. What time can we catch up with you on Sunday morning?
You can catch up with me Sunday morning at 8:00 on Pure West. I'm looking forward to it, with Alive and Kicking. I will be there live, no less. Live
on Easter Sunday. Reverend Sophie, thank you so much for joining us, to the usual on YouTube, and also to Howard, who's been watching along on our social media. Reverend Sophie, thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you for having me.
And you're welcome. 8:45 here this morning. Gina, those all-important letters just around the corner.
Yes, if you fancy trying to get your name into that all-important draw to win an annual family pass to Folly Farm, stay tuned.
The Breakfast Show on